U.S. President Donald Trump is facing flack on his so-called offensive against crime. Trump is threatening multiple Democrat-ruled cities with National Guard troops deployment. National Guards are already patrolling the streets of Washington, D.C. Trump says that the next will be Chicago, but unlike D.C., Chicago National Guards come under state government. In a fresh offensive, Illinois Governor called Trump a wannabe dictator. Trump claims the crime in Democrat-run cities is on the rise. This, according to him, requires deployment of National Guards, a move that would need him to trigger special presidential powers. Responding to allegation by the Illinois governor, Trump said he is not a dictator.
He's a dictator. He's a dictator. A lot of people are saying maybe we like a dictator. I don't like a dictator. I'm not a dictator. I'm a man with great common sense and I'm a smart person.
According to police data, violent crime in Chicago have dropped majorly in the first half of 2025, representing the steepest decline in over a decade. Shootings and homicides are down more than 30% in the first half of the year compared to the same time last year, and total violent crime dropped by over 22%. Taking to social media platform X, former U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton warned that her prediction in 2024 of a militarized America under Trump's second term has now come true. Clinton shared images of a September 2024 book passage and current headlines reporting National Guard deployment in Washington, D.C. and plans for Chicago. Clinton said, and I quote, "Trump is following a classic authoritarian playbook. It's up to state and local governments to push back on this tyranny while it's still possible," unquote. And for more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani is now joining us from New York. Hi, Susan. Get us up to speed with allegations that Trump is perhaps militarizing America, but right now he's only targeting Democrat-led cities.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it's mostly these Democrat-run cities that have very high crime rates. And while statistics show that in some cities crime has decreased, the problem with that is crime is so rampant. If we talk about Chicago, for example, Chicago's South Side is notorious. It's so rampant that when you see these numbers and a decrease in crime, it doesn't necessarily mean that the crime issue has been solved. And President Trump at this point thinks that he has a mandate from the American people because one of the platforms that he ran on was law and order and to help with crimes in many cities. He was asked whether or not he would also deploy National Guards and try to crack down on red cities. His response was that he would do it if needed. But as for now, it seems like these blue-run cities are the ones with the highest crime rates. And when we look at the statistics, it is New York, Chicago, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., which is the only place right now where National Guards are being deployed. These are all run by Democrats. So by doing so, he puts not only pressure on state and local governments to do something about the crime rates, but he also creates this national dialogue. But on the other hand, it also creates backlash because, first of all, these governments don't want to be put on the spot. They don't want to appear in front of the people that they're not doing enough on crime and that there has to be some kind of federal intervention. And on the other hand, it's right. As we've seen during his first term, all through the campaign, they talk a lot about him being a dictator, a fascist, and whatnot. So the terminology is nothing new, but nonetheless, we'll have to see how much of it is effective at the end of the day. But for now, this is what he thinks is the best path forward.
Right, Susan. He also falsely claimed that there are no crime in red states. But coming to the point you made there that he is targeting the blue cities right now, Baltimore, Illinois. How are the U.S. cities reacting to Trump's federal show of force at this point of time?
Yeah, so when you talk to the citizens, they, of course, they welcome so anything that can be done with them feeling safe. But this has only been in Washington, D.C., and we've only talked about the residents of Washington, D.C. So it hasn't really happened in any other state for us to see the reaction of the people. But we do see the pushback coming from Democrats. You know, as with anything else, there has to be a middle ground ultimately where the American public are going to be comfortable with. I mean, we saw that with the immigration crackdowns. They don't want illegal immigration, but how, in what manner that illegal immigration is tackled and to what extent it goes, that's where, you know, questions arise. So, like I said, he hasn't done it. He's only threatened to do it. And that's why we're only hearing pushback from government officials.
Right, Susan. Thanks for getting us the latest from New York here on Race to Power.